When I was 11 years old, I was on vacation with my parents in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They were out at a dinner and I wanted to watch something. Well, I remember my godfather telling me that his favorite book growing up was The Lord of the Rings. And when I was flipping through the options of what I could watch, I saw The Fellowship of the Ring pop up. So I decided on a TV that was deeper than it was wide that I would watch this movie. Well, that movie completely changed my life. It not only inspired me to make videos like I do today on my YouTube channels, it also taught me one of the most important lessons in my life. And today, I'm going to share that with you. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the first movie in the trilogy, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Now, if you aren't aware about what this whole movie franchise and book franchise is about, it's basically about a hobbit or a halfling named Frodo. If you don't know what a hobbit or halfling is, just search it on Google or chat. And he is tasked with the impossible goal to take the Ring of Power to the end of the earth, to this place called Mount Doom, to destroy it, to save the world from an evil sorcerer from taking over and basically enslaving everyone in Middle-earth. Middle-earth is the world that J.R.R. Tolkien has created for us to experience this amazing tale in. Well, the first movie and book in the franchise is The Fellowship of the Ring. And this installment revolves around the fellowship. What is a fellowship? A fellowship is a group of people who are working together towards the same goal. And what if I told you that creating your own fellowship is the key to achieving your impossible goals? Maybe you are like my VIP coaching client Mario in Australia, also an avid Lord of the Rings fan, with his impossible goal to halve the world suicide rate by 2028. Well, he could look at this a couple different ways. He could go at it alone as the Frodo of trying to get that message out there and touching millions of lives worldwide to halve the world suicide rate. Or he can create his own fellowship. And that's exactly what Mario's doing. Now, there's an amazing book by author Dr. Benjamin Hardy that breaks down this concept of fellowship, and it is called Who Not How. He co-authored this book with amazing business coach and entrepreneur Dan Sullivan, and this whole concept of who, not how, he even talks about how The Lord of the Rings leans into this concept. And it's not about how you achieve the goal, it's about who you achieve the goal with. Now, once you set your impossible goal, which I have a whole video and podcast episode about how the only goal worth having is your impossible goal. The next step is to start thinking, who can help me achieve that goal? And there are 5 categories of who's that I'm going to go through with you today that the Fellowship of the Ring has strategically included in the movie series to support Frodo on his quest to destroy the One Ring and save the world. So here are the 5 who's that you need to achieve your impossible goals. The first one is you need a guide. In The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring is made up of 9 companions, Frodo and 8 of his who's. And the most important of his who's might have been his guide. So who was Frodo's guide? Gandalf. Gandalf is the ultimate guide or mentor in the entire movie. Now, the importance of having a guide in your life is no matter what you're doing and what your impossible goal is, it is so important to have someone that knows how to get there. Either because they've been there before, or maybe they've coached others to get there before. When you have a guide, you're able to shortcut the process. Without Gandalf, Frodo wouldn't have even known where to start. Now, Gandalf is a powerful wizard, and there really aren't that many wizards in the world of Middle-earth. And without going into the deep history of wizards, Gandalf has been alive for a very, very long time. Thousands and thousands of years. So wouldn't you think that if he's been around that long, he has a lot of knowledge that Frodo can learn from? Well, this is exactly why Frodo even felt confident enough to take it upon himself to complete this task. Because Gandalf believed in him. Gandalf gave him the map. Gandalf told him what he needed to do next. So when you are growing your business, maybe you're building your e-learning programs and you're looking to impact people globally, just like my Enterprise Learning Accelerator client CoStar Group does with their certifications, helping students and business professionals worldwide in the hospitality space get jobs, you need a guide to show you how to get there. You need someone to help you along the way. So this is the first who you need in your life. The next is you need collaborators. These are who's that build alongside you. These are your business partners, your team members, your creative collaborators, and your peers. These are the people that they may not have the same goal as you, but you are on a similar path, a similar journey along the way. In The Lord of the Rings, I believe that there are two main collaborators in the Fellowship. Who do you think they are? Well, the first one is my favorite character in the entire series, and that is Aragorn, also known as Strider. And the second is Boromir, which, depending on your feelings on the movie, some people love Boromir and others think that he's probably the worst part of the Fellowship of the Ring. Well, I believe that without Boromir, Frodo would not have been able to achieve what he was able to achieve. And he definitely wasn't able to achieve what he achieved without Aragorn. Now, the interesting thing about Aragorn and Boromir is they're actually very similar people. And they have very similar drives that cause them to collaborate with Frodo. Aragorn is a ranger who has royal blood, but he walked away from all of that. But his motives are those of service. He just is embarrassed by the blood that runs through his veins. He feels like the blood that runs through his veins is disgraceful because of decisions that his ancestors made. So his goal is to really help save the world by being a partner in service to Frodo. But he also had his own journey, a journey to redeem his bloodline and become the king of men, to become the king that the world actually needed, to become one of the most powerful people in the world. Boromir, on the other hand, also comes from royal blood to a degree. More of his father is the steward of Gondor, the same kingdom that Aragorn is the actual rightful king. So when Boromir actually hears that Aragorn is among the party members, he has mixed feelings as well. Because while he doesn't fully agree with how his father is running Gondor, he is loyal to Gondor. And he's upset that Aragorn has shown, without malintention, disrespect for Gondor. Aragorn definitely wasn't being disrespectful to Gondor, but by walking away and not being the ruler that Gondor needed, Boromir doesn't really know how to feel about Aragorn. He also has mad respect for Aragorn and knows that Aragorn could take over the throne from his father. Well, ultimately, what you will learn in your life and why these two are so powerful collaborators with Frodo is they both have their own goals to protect the world from the evil sorcerer Sauron, but their goal is different. They aren't actually tasked to destroy the ring. They are tasked to serve as leaders in a different part in the story. The overall leader of men, and Boromir is the leader of the armies of Gondor right now. The leader of the armies of men. And the character development for each of these characters is unbelievable in the story. And I really think you can learn a lot about how you need collaborators in your life and how you can be a collaborator for others in your life by studying how Aragorn and Boromir collaborate with each other and with Frodo on this journey to save Middle-earth. Number 3, accountability partner. You definitely need someone to keep you accountable. Now, this is different than a guide. A guide knows more than you. They've done what you want to do, or they have the answers that you need to achieve what you want to achieve. Accountability partners are there to keep moving you along. They don't necessarily do the work for you, but they must make sure that you keep going. Accountability partners aren't going to do the things that you need to do in your business. If you're looking to lose weight, an accountability partner can't lose the weight for you. But what they can do is make sure that you keep moving forward. So in The Lord of the Rings, you could argue that there are a lot of different accountability partners for Frodo, but we all know that there is one in particular that is with Frodo the entire way there. And that is Samwise Gamgee, the ultimate accountability partner. And it gets to the point, there's this amazing scene where Sam says, "I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you." This is an amazing scene, and this is like the ultimate accountability. Sam knows what Frodo has committed to. He has committed to destroying the One Ring to save the world. And he sticks by Frodo's side even in his darkest moments. And even when Frodo has lost complete physical ability to continue moving forward, Sam knows that he can't carry it for him. He can't do the job for Frodo, but he can carry Frodo. The ultimate accountability partner is Samwise Gamgee. For you and your business, an accountability partner may be joining a mastermind or joining a group. I have my future-proof learning community. We're high-level learning business owners who are building their businesses around e-learning and creating a wave of global impact. By being around people that keep you accountable, this propels you forward. By being around people that care about you, that care about pushing you towards your goals. Now, the next who that you need in your life is really multiple who's. You need implementers. Implementers are extremely important. While Frodo has guts and courage, Frodo is not the best fighter. Frodo needs protection on his way to Mount Doom. He knows that he's not going to be able to get there alone. He even says when he volunteers to take the ring to Mordor, that he'll do it, but he doesn't know the way. He doesn't know how he's going to do it. He knows that it is his task to do it. So Gandalf says that he will guide him. Aragorn and Borimir join up because their motivations, their goals are in collaboration. They're aligned with Frodo. You have Sam who joins because of course he's going to join. He looks up to Frodo. He knows that Frodo needs him to keep him accountable. And these two other characters, which for a lot of people, they may be your favorite characters in Lord of the Rings. We have Legolas and Gimli. They are implementers. And they are implementers for Frodo, but they're also implementers for our collaborators. They're implementers for Aragorn, Boromir. They're even implementers for our guide, Gandalf. They are the ultimate implementers in the Lord of the Rings. And an implementer, these are people who execute your ideas. So in your business, you're going to have employees. You're going to have team members. You have people that are better at what you need done, just like Legolas and Gimli are probably the two best fighters in the entire series. You could say Aragorn is pretty powerful too, but Legolas and Gimli are literally the two most powerful fighters in the entire series. And they start by following Frodo, and then they continue to follow Aragorn. These guys, without Legolas and Gimli, Frodo would never have been able to get all the way to Mordor. Aragorn would not have been able to get as far as he did in his journey to reclaiming the throne of Gondor. Legolas and Gimli are implementers, and you need implementers in your life. And the final category of who's that you need are supporters. I know that you're probably thinking, okay, so we've talked about 7 of the fellowship. There's 2 missing. Who are they and what purpose do they serve? Well, they are the supporters. This is Merry, this is Pippin. And what are supporters. Supporters are those who provide love, encouragement, and grounding. Out of everyone in The Lord of the Rings, who does that more than Merry and Pippin? Now, they do it together for a long time, and they have different roles as you go through the movies. But Merry and Pippin, their whole role in this story is to provide joy, love, and support for those around them. They start by doing this for Frodo, with Frodo, and they end up doing this with supporting Frodo's collaborators along the way. Their whole role is to fill in the gaps and really support however they can. Who is this in your business? Is this your loved ones? Is this your friends? Is this an employee on your team that just is able to support you along the way with encouragement? Maybe this is your dog. Maybe this is your kids. Maybe it is your dog. Who is this in your life, in your business? Now, I have a program called my Enterprise Learning Accelerator Partnership Program, where my goal with this program is me and my company become your e-learning partner. We not only act as your guide, your Gandalf, we're also your collaborators, because by working together, you are empowering us to serve 100 million people worldwide by working with mission-driven organizations like yours, using learning to change the world. This may mean using learning to save lives, create opportunities, or spreading hope. So we are collaborators in this program. Me and my team also act as your accountability partner to make sure that you are on track for achieving your impossible goal. Part of this program includes implementation, where you and your team maybe have a knowledge and skill gap. We have the knowledge and skills that you need to achieve your goals in e-learning. We are your Legolas and your Gimli. And ultimately, by working together, we will support you, give you encouragement, provide a little more joy in your life. If you are interested in working together on a partnership level, I invite you to check out my Enterprise Learning Accelerator program in the show notes and in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. And I'll see you in the next episode.